Welcome back. Today is Friday, the 11th,
Yep.
and thank you for our tech guys for getting this going again. And I know that you've been working on the systems, the microphones, so thank you for all the work. We'll have another test case next week when we have our first public meeting. That'll be on the floor of the chambers. And so
Because we're hosting the Sunset Center,
yeah, I was going to get to that later, but yeah.
helping you move this along.
Thank you. All right, why don't you go first there, Smarty Pants?
Okay. Well, less than a month to go for Car Week. Hard to believe.
Yeah.
But it's coming, and Ashley and her team are hard at work planning another wonderful event. You know, last year we had some pretty cool events, and I think they're going to be back Tuesday through Thursday, possibly something on Saturday.
Yoga in cars, possibly.
Possibly. So stay
It's
tuned.
kind of like yoga with goats. I mean, do you do the yoga on top of $1 million McLaren, or
hope
what do
not.
you do?
Oh my gosh.
I'm signed up, so I'm gonna do it anyway.
So that's coming. Lots more updates to come on that. But Car Week's fun. It's a great time, even though it's hectic. It's still fun. We do a good job managing it, I think.
Yeah, Public Works and police really do a great job because it's a pretty hectic week. People come here, and even though our message, we should start it now, which is you better be respectful when you come to our village, or you will get cited and ticketed, and quite frankly, ask not to return.
Yeah,
You know,
we got
I'll say that.
two newbies this year. We got Ken up in Public Works and Commander Trayer up in the PD. They're in for a treat.
Yeah, it really is a treat, an anxiety treat.
Yep. Totally different type of event starts tomorrow. Carmel Bach Festival, much more mellow. Nobody's doing burnouts or anything over at the Sunset Center, but highly recommend checking that out. I've been going, I think, every year for many years. I take my daughter to the kids concert, so we're excited to go to that again. She's 13. She still wants to go, which is cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so we get all dressed up and we go on a date to the Sunset Center for the kids
And
concert.
Bach's been great because, they played last year at our main branch library, HML, and apparently they've reached out to other area libraries in Seaside and Pacific Grove. Well, they'll have small concerts as well. So thank you, Bach, for being a great community partner.
Yeah, go check out the website. It's a great website. They have one of those online brochures where you can flip through the pages and see all the things that are going on. There's something for everybody, I think, honestly, truly, at the Bach Festival. So please check that out. And the last thing I want to talk about is sort of keeping with trying to always add some education to this when we can. There's a lot of road work going on around the city right now. And we always get the question, why is this segment of road being worked on and this other one is not? Even if the one that's not getting worked on, maybe it's in worse shape. The answer is really complicated, but I'll try to simplify it a little bit. So
And I wouldn't understand. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So the streets are measured by something called the Pavement Condition Index, or the PCI. And we use a program called Street Saver, which uses a whole bunch of algorithms and formulas and stuff to help us figure this out. But the simple thing is, and I'll put this in the Friday letter today, think of a curve based on how good or bad condition something's in. When it's in good condition, the work you have to do to preserve it is only between 20 cents and $1.25 per square foot. So that's up here at the top of the curve. As you continue to go down the curve and eventually off the edge of a cliff, when you have to completely reconstruct a section of road, it's upwards $5 plus per square foot. So the cost changes quite a bit. And so our approach, and what many cities do, is we try to balance our dollars every year. We spend some dollars on preserving, which is that cheaper version. It's 20 cents to $1.25, all the way down through things like resurfacing, major rehabilitation, down to reconstruction, which is the most expensive. So we try to do a little bit of every type of work every year, which maximizes your dollar. You can get more done and preserve those streets that are still in fairly good condition in your 70s or 80s in the PCI. So PCI is a scale of 0 to 100. Your 70s and 80s, those are in good condition. You can spend less money and get more done. And then your 30s, your 20s, 30s, and 40s on a PCI, that's your straight up reconstruction. It's more disruptive, it's more expensive, and you can only do so much of that with the dollars you have. So we try to balance that every year. So hopefully that answers the question. People are always wondering, hey, I live on a really small section of street and there's a giant pothole in the middle of it, and that's horrible. Like no one's going to tell you that that's not bad, but there is a bit of art and science to how we do this. But by all means, please let us know if you've got a section. I'm certain that Rob and his team have them on a list. They have a really comprehensive spreadsheet of all the segments that need work, what their PCI is, and when they have them planned. So we will get to them, but it's just, we do have a method to the madness.
Well done. That's perfect. And
Thanks.
we do keep a list of those potholed streets that need some repair. And then we get what we call hot mix, and it literally is hot because they stick a thermometer in it to make sure it's the right temperature to fill those defects in our streets that are not high on the list for reconstruction, which is R&R, remove and replace, reconstruction or resurfacing.
Yeah.
And then last year we practiced with micro resurfacing on San Carlos. And that seems to be very durable. It's kind of a new product, but I think it's going to hold up really well and help maintain that street because that's our bus and truck route, right? It's also a very, very high volume used street. So
yeah,
well done.
And I want to also congratulate the Public Works team over the last year or two. They've done a great job of collaborating with our partners at the county because, everything technically, in the black and white world, the robot version of you would say, we don't touch anything outside of the city because it's not our jurisdiction. But that's not reality. I mean, someone coming down Ocean Avenue or Carpenter, they don't know. They don't know there's two little dots in the middle of the road that tells you where the county starts and stops. And so our team has done a really good job of collaborating. In fact, one of the projects that's happening over the next few months is resurfacing outside of the city on Ocean Avenue heading up, but that's a partnership project between the county and the city. So we're exploring that more. And again, stretching those dollars because as a collaborative effort, we're here physically, so we can do some more work managing. Right. They have the equipment, we pile dollars together and more gets done through partnership, like anything in life. Yeah. So we're excited.
Yeah, and so for the record, I mean, the county will be reimbursing us for that section from the city line to State Highway 1 to the Caltrans right away. So there won't be any expense to the city. But I mean, I think the collaborative approach that you're talking about is why aren't we getting together with the cities of Monterey and Pacific Grove and Seaside to increase the quantities of resurfacing so we get a better price on the asphalt or the material itself. So it's again, something that we're looking forward to doing as we move forward and dollars and cents continue to become constrained.
Yep. That's what I got.
Thanks, buddy. Well done. Well done. Yeah, we are hosting SEC at a public meeting. They have I guess they meet bi-monthly, so every 2 months. They're meeting in this room on Tuesday the 15th at 3 o'clock. Brandon and I will be here. Members of the public are welcome to come to that meeting. It will be streamed immediately. What's the word?
Live?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Live and then recorded for posterity as well. So that's what I have there. Congratulations to Joel and Daniel. The council had the wherewithal to add to our budget this year intern positions, and so we're really grateful for that. And Joel and Daniel went through the process of recruiting. They're going to hire 4 IT interns who are students at CSUMB, and they'll be starting next week. So that'll be great. So staff members, if you see some youngsters walking around helping you with your IT needs, that's what they're here for. What else do I have here? Nova is developing a brand new agenda management system right now. That'll be live for the next public meeting. So we'll produce the next packet using Civic Plus rather than Novus, which are just software platforms. And then I think we've run out of time a little bit. I think maybe next week we'll talk about Assembly Bill 130 and Senate Bill 131. But these are pieces of legislation that were produced by the Assembly or the Senate in Sacramento and then signed by the governor on the 30th. So I guess that was about a week and a half ago. And there are 10 new exempt projects, types of projects that are exempt from CEQA review. And as part of the professional planning practice, the planners behind us here, they work with CEQA on a daily basis. Some of the new exemptions are for things like broadband, weed abatement for fire fuel load reduction, infill projects, but we can assure you that the planners are very well versed to work with our city attorney as well on making sure we're applying CEQA properly, as we always have. And then my last note is that it is entirely my fault that the Friday letter went out prematurely last week. Ashley had an interview with a news station, so I pushed the Friday letter early. And so my apologies. Our vlog from last week, which I know thousands of people were wondering about, is available on our YouTube station. I think you're going to repost it, and Ashley will repost it.
Yep.
So my apologies to Ashley. We didn't get the Public Works Week in there last week either, so she'll work on that while Leslie Fenton is on a well-deserved vacation. So again, my apologies.
That's it.
That's
Well
it.
done.
Thank you.
Okay, well, as always,
Take good care.